Goblin shark should not be able to hunt at all. Not in the deep, not with a face that looks unfinished. And yet the proof exists on camera. Its jaws launching forward like a spring trap, turning a slow, drifting body into a sudden attack. So here are the two questions that make scientists uneasy. Why does it look so wrong, even for the deep sea? And why does a shark need a jaw that can shoot out of its own head? Because weird shark is not an explanation, it's an alarm. Most sharks are built around a simple promise: streamlined, efficient, fast enough to close the gap, teeth designed to cut, a body that turns water into speed. The goblin shark breaks that promise. It looks soft, pinkish, loose. Its snout stretches forward like a blade made of cartilage. Its mouth sits back as if it's hiding, and its teeth look less like knives and more like hooks. Nothing about it reads like a classic predator. Here's the problem. If you judge it by surface rules, you miss what it was built for. Because the goblin shark is not a creature of open water. It's a creature of the deep slope, the edges of continents, the cold drop-offs where light is weak or gone. Research suggests they've been recorded across a wide range of depths, often hundreds of meters down, sometimes deeper. And at those depths, the ocean rewrites biology. Down there, speed is expensive, food is scarce, chasing is wasteful. Even being muscular all the time is a liability. So the deep rewards a different kind of predator, one that can wait, one that can sense, one that can steal a meal without burning energy to earn it. And that is the first clue. A goblin shark is not built to be fast all day. It's built to be correct once. Look at the snout again. That long, flattened blade is not decoration, it's a sensor platform. Sharks have special organs that detect electric fields, tiny signals produced by living animals, muscles firing, hearts beating, even the weak electrical signature of a fish hiding in darkness. In many sharks, these sensors are clustered around the head. In a goblin shark, that long snout gives those sensors space. It extends the detection zone forward like a living antenna. Micro payoff. In the deep, you don't need eyes to find prey, you need the ability to feel life. And yet, that only makes the goblin shark stranger. Because if it can detect prey, why does it need the most violent jaw mechanism you'll ever see on a shark?
Here's what people miss about deep-sea hunting. The prey down there is not always fast, but it is often cautious. It doesn't waste movement, it doesn't broadcast itself. It reacts to pressure changes and shadows, because reacting late means dying. So, if you're a slow predator, you can't afford a long approach. You need a short-range kill method. And the goblin shark's entire face is built around short range. Its body often looks flabby compared to more active sharks. The muscles are not designed for constant sprinting. The fins can appear smaller relative to body size. It's the kind of design you see in animals that live on a tight energy budget. Micro payoff? It's not weak, it's economical. But economy has a cost. An economical predator can't chase a fish across open water for 50 meters. It would lose too much energy. It would overcommit. It would gamble. So instead, it becomes a specialist in one moment. Close enough, then sudden. That's why the goblin shark's mouth sits back. It's why the face looks like it's holding something in reserve. Most sharks bite by moving the whole head and body into the prey. They ram, clamp, shake, slice. They use momentum. But the goblin shark cannot rely on momentum the same way, so it cheats. It keeps the body steady and throws the mouth. That's not a metaphor, it's mechanics. When a goblin shark attacks, the jaws can thrust forward dramatically. The teeth, long and narrow, are positioned to grab, not saw. Hooks, not blades. A design that prioritizes capture over cutting. Micro payoff? It's built to catch prey that would slip past a normal bite. And now the second question returns, sharper. Why does it look so wrong? The pink skin, the slack body, the alien face. Here's the problem. Most of what you see in rare deep-sea footage is not a healthy animal living in its normal environment. The deep is high pressure, cold, stable. Bring a deep-sea animal to the surface and you change everything instantly. Pressure drops, gases expand, tissues shift. The body can appear distorted, colors can look different under artificial light. Movement can look clumsy in water that's warmer and less dense than it's adapted for. Micro payoff? Sometimes ugly is a symptom of being pulled out of the world it belongs to. So the goblin shark's appearance is part biology, part context, a deep-sea specialist seen under the worst possible conditions. And this is why scientists struggle to explain it in the way people want. Because we don't see them often. They don't gather in easy-to-film places. They don't hunt in bright water. They don't show up on coral reefs. Encounters are rare, often accidental, caught on deep lines, found by chance, recorded briefly and then gone. And when data is scarce, myths fill the gap. People call it a living fossil, a monster, a mistake. But those are labels, not answers. The real answer is that goblin sharks are a reminder of something uncomfortable. The deep ocean is not an empty space. It is an environment with its own rules, its own design pressures, its own solutions that look insane when you drag them into daylight. And the goblin shark is one of those solutions. A predator that doesn't win by being the strongest swimmer. It wins by being the best closer. The trade-off is clear already. In exchange for energy efficiency, it gives up speed. In exchange for patience, it becomes dependent on ambush distance. In exchange for a specialized strike, it becomes strange-looking and hard to understand, because its whole design only makes sense in the deep. But we still haven't touched the core of the mystery, because a jaw that can shoot forward like that is not a minor adaptation. It is a different way of being a shark. And once you see how it works, what moves first, what locks, what fires, and what the teeth are actually designed to do, you stop thinking of it as weird. You start thinking of it as precise. And that's where the story becomes unsettling. Because the goblin shark isn't bizarre despite being a predator. It's bizarre because it's a predator that evolved to hunt where the rules are different. And the jaw is the proof.
Because what you're seeing in those clips isn't just an exaggerated bite. It's a different kind of attack entirely. Most sharks can protrude their jaws a little. That's normal. Their jaws are not welded to the skull like ours. They're supported by cartilage and connective tissue that allows movement. It helps them extend reach, improve grip, and adjust how teeth meet flesh. But the goblin shark takes that normal feature and turns it into a launch. The jaws don't just slide forward, they fire. The mouth shoots out, teeth first, like a spring-loaded trap. The skull stays back, the body stays steady. Then the bite arrives before the prey has time to react. And here's the unsettling part. This isn't a clever trick added on top of a normal shark. It's built into the entire face. The goblin shark's snout is long and sensitive. Its jaw is set back and primed. Its teeth are narrow and grabby. The whole front of the animal is a targeting system feeding into a ballistic capture. In the deep, that makes sense. Because down there, the world is quiet. Not peaceful, quiet. Prey isn't always fast, but it's cautious. Movement is expensive. So many animals avoid unnecessary motion. They drift, they hover, they freeze. And predators adapt to that stillness. Some become lights in the dark. Some become invisible. Some become mouths. The goblin shark becomes a mouth that can reach you from farther away than you expect. Micro payoff. In an environment where every calorie matters, the cheapest hunt is the one that ends instantly. Now think about what a strike like this actually solves. A slow predator has a problem. Even a short chase costs energy. Even a quick burst costs energy. And if the prey dodges, you've burned fuel for nothing. But a jaw that launches forward reduces the gamble. It shortens the distance to impact. It reduces the time the prey has to react. It turns almost close enough into close enough. And that matters more than speed. Because speed is a lifestyle. It demands constant feeding. Range is just a feature.
This is why the goblin shark can look sluggish, even lazy, until the moment it attacks. It is conserving, it is waiting, it is behaving like an animal on a strict budget. That budget is enforced by the deep. Cold water slows chemical processes. Food is scattered. Many deep-sea animals grow slowly. They reproduce slowly. They can't afford waste. So deep-sea predators often become specialists. And specialization produces designs that look ridiculous until you understand the constraint. Now about the teeth. Those long, narrow teeth don't look like the serrated blades of a great white. They don't look like the crushing plates of a ray eater. They look like hooks. That tells you something about prey. Hook teeth are good for grabbing soft bodies, slippery bodies, bodies that would slide out of a normal bite if the jaws can't fully clamp and saw. Micro payoff. These teeth aren't built to cut a seal in half. They're built to stop something from escaping, which suggests a menu.
Fish in dim water. Squid-like bodies. Soft prey that drifts. Prey that is hard to pin down, not hard to slice. And this matches the goblin shark's entire strategy. Detect life at close range, approach slowly, then strike without warning. But there's another problem. If this design is so effective, why don't we see goblin sharks everywhere? Why are they so rare on camera? Why do they feel like a myth that occasionally becomes real? The simplest answer is depth. They live where humans don't. We spend most of our time in the sunlit ocean, the shallow shelf, the warm, bright water where reefs exist and cameras work. The goblin shark is often associated with deeper slopes and drop-offs, places where pressure is high and light is minimal. Even when they come up or are caught, their out of context matters. Because deep-sea animals are built for stability, pressure, cold, darkness. Bring them to the surface and the world becomes violent. Pressure drops, gases expand, organs and tissues experience conditions they were never designed to tolerate. The animal can look deformed, pale, sluggish, or wrong, not because it is unhealthy, but because it has been yanked into a different physics. Micro payoff. Sometimes monster is just misplaced. This is why people describe goblin sharks as pink. In their natural environment, color behaves differently. Light is different. Cameras are different. Even the way skin reflects can change under artificial lighting. And in some cases, what you're seeing is blood flow through pale skin in a stressed animal, not a deliberate neon color, not a costume. Now add the second reason they feel mysterious. We don't have enough observation. A predator you can't observe consistently becomes a story you can't complete. You get fragments, catches, brief footage, a few measurements, a few stomach contents, a few sightings. Then people try to build certainty from scraps. That's where living fossil enters. The goblin shark belongs to a lineage with deep evolutionary roots. It has features that feel ancient compared to many modern sharks, so people assume it is unchanged. But that's not the strange part. The strange part is that ancient does not mean outdated. It sometimes means the opposite. It means the design is built for conditions that have existed for a very long time. The deep ocean is one of those conditions. The surface changes fast, coastlines shift, temperatures swing, ecosystems flip. The deep changes slowly, cold, dark, pressurized, stable. So the deep doesn't reward constant reinvention, it rewards solutions that keep working. And the goblin shark's solution is brutally simple. Don't chase, don't waste, don't reveal yourself early. Just reach. But here's the twist that reframes the whole animal. The goblin shark does not look abnormal because it is badly designed. It looks abnormal because it is designed around a single moment, the strike. Everything that looks wrong is aligned toward that 1 second. The long snout that reads the world, the mouth that sits back like a loaded device, the jaws that fire, the teeth that hook. Micro payoff. The goblin shark is not built to look like a shark. It's built to behave like a trap. And once you accept that, you start noticing a darker implication.
If the deep ocean rewards patience, range, and efficiency, then the goblin shark is not an exception. It is a clue. Because there are other animals down there built on the same logic. Different bodies, different tools, same principle. And when we call the goblin shark weird, what we're really saying is that the deep ocean produces predators we aren't psychologically prepared to understand. But we still haven't answered the hardest question. If this design is so perfectly tuned to the deep, what happens when the deep stops being stable? If the deep stops being stable, everything built for stability becomes vulnerable. That sounds abstract until you realize what stable means down there. Cold water holds more oxygen, pressure stays constant, light doesn't change, seasons are muted. The deep is a world where extremes are smoothed out, where time moves slower, where many animals survive by being economical. The goblin shark fits that world like a key in a lock. But here's the problem. We are changing the ocean from the top down. Heat enters at the surface first, then moves deeper over time. Currents shift. Oxygen levels can change. Food webs move. And the deep is not as isolated as it looks. When the surface is stressed, the deep feels it later. And animals built around wait and strike depend on two things: a predictable environment and prey that still behaves normally. If prey distribution shifts, the goblin shark's entire strategy has to follow, not because it suddenly becomes a different creature, but because the map it hunts on is moving. This is why sightings feel random.
A goblin shark is not roaming your coastline like a horror movie. It's living where the water is cold and dark and quiet, where the slope drops away, where life is scattered like crumbs. When we catch them, it's often because our technology crosses into their depth range. Deep long lines, deep trawls, submersibles, accidental encounters. Micro payoff? Sometimes rare doesn't mean almost extinct. It means almost never observed. And that creates a dangerous illusion. We think the deep is empty because we don't see it. We think the goblin shark is abnormal because we see it out of context. But in its world, the goblin shark is not a mistake. It's a perfectly reasonable answer. A slow body that saves energy, a sensitive snout that reads electric life, a mouth set back like a loaded mechanism, a jaw that launches to close the last distance, a set of hook-like teeth designed for capture. Every piece is part of a single design goal: get one meal without wasting 10. That is the deep sea economy. And it explains something else people miss: why the goblin shark looks unfinished. Because we're comparing it to the wrong standard. We compare it to sharks built for speed and endurance, sharks that patrol bright water, sharks that chase, sharks that cut. But the deep doesn't reward that lifestyle the same way. Down there, you don't need elegance. You need efficiency. You need a solution that works under scarcity. And scarcity shapes bodies into forms that look alien to us, not because they're broken, because they're optimized for a different set of physics. Now consider the trade-off, the price paid for this kind of specialization. A goblin shark is not built for long pursuit. It isn't designed to dominate open water by speed. It relies on detection, close approach, and a fast capture at the end. That means if prey stays just outside that range, the shark loses. If visibility changes, it adapts by sensing. If prey moves higher or lower, it must follow. If food becomes even scarcer, it can't simply work harder like a high-energy predator. It has to keep gambling on the perfect moment. This is the cost of living on a tight budget. You save energy by not chasing, but you become dependent on short windows. And the deep ocean is full of those windows. A fish drifts too close. A squid turns at the wrong angle. A weak electrical signal betrays a heartbeat. The goblin shark doesn't need to be faster than the prey. It needs the prey to exist in range, which brings us to the major twist that changes how you should see this animal. The goblin shark is not the weird one. Our expectations are. We think predators must be muscular, sleek, and constantly moving. We think danger must be loud. We think a shark must look like a shark. But the deep does not build for our aesthetic comfort. It builds for outcomes. And outcomes in the deep
often look like this: stillness, sensing, a single burst, then quiet again. So when you watch the goblin shark's jaws shoot forward, you're not seeing a party trick, you're seeing a deep ocean rule made visible. The rule is simple. In scarcity, the best predator is the one that wastes the least. That is why so many deep-sea animals look like they belong in nightmares. They are not designed to impress you. They are designed to survive a world where food is never guaranteed. And now, the final reveal.
We really can't explain goblin sharks in the way people want, because the real explanation is not just the shark, it's the environment that created it. If you want the goblin shark to make sense, you have to accept a deeper truth. The deep ocean is not an extension of the surface. It is a different planet layered underneath ours. A planet where sight is optional, where movement is expensive, where bodies are built to endure, where predators don't chase, they reach. So when you see a goblin shark, don't ask, why does it look so abnormal? Ask the more unsettling question: what kind of world makes this normal? Because the answer tells you something about the deep, and it tells you something about how little of that world we truly understand. We're drawing maps of coastlines and calling the ocean known. But beneath that, there are rules operating in the dark, shaping animals into forms we're not ready to recognize. The goblin shark is not a monster in the deep. It is a message from the deep, a reminder that evolution doesn't care what looks natural to you. It cares what works where you can't see. And if the deep begins to change, slowly, quietly, inevitably, then the animals built for that stability will be the first to tell us something is different. Not with words, with movement, with range, with encounters that feel impossible. A shark that shouldn't exist, showing up where it never used to, and making us realize again that the ocean still has rules we haven't learned.